Title: Room 209, A Love Meant to Hurt. Gabriela had never believed in fate. She believed in schedules, contracts, and controlled environments. But nothing about room 209 felt controlled. Not the flickering hallway light, not the scent of old lavender in the sheets, and definitely not the man who checked in 2 hours after she did. His name was Richard, and he was staying right across the hall, but it felt like he had been there all along. The arrival. Gabriela arrived at the Ocean Crest Inn with a laptop, a binder full of timelines, and a heart that had stopped believing in second chances. She was there to plan a wedding, not hers. Just another rich couple in love. Just another weekend pretending emotions were easy. The hotel was small but elegant, perched on a cliff overlooking the Oregon coast. But it was room 209 that made her stop. The key trembled slightly in her hand as she opened it. The room was perfect. Too perfect, like someone had just left, or never truly did. The stranger across the hall. She first saw him the next morning. He wore a leather jacket, salt-sprayed hair, and a silence that felt intentional. "Good morning," he said as they crossed paths in the hallway. His voice was low, unapologetic. Something about him felt familiar, but Gabriela shook it off. He was just another guest, until she saw him again standing on the cliff behind the hotel, staring out at the ocean like it owed him an answer. Chapter 3. The Photo. Gabriela had left her notes in the lounge. When she returned, they were untouched except for one thing. A photo, old, black and white, of her, as a child, holding hands with a boy she didn't recognize. There was no note, no explanation, just her face, and room 209 scribbled in ink on the back. She tried to laugh it off. But that night, she heard a knock on her door. It was him, Richard. The confession. "I knew you'd come back here," he said softly. Gabriela froze. "I'm sorry?" Richard stepped closer, holding the photo. "My father used to work here. Maintenance. I lived on the grounds as a kid. We met once. You don't remember it, but I never forgot." Gabriela stared at the image. "How did you even get this?" "I've kept it for 20 years, he whispered. "Because you were the only person who was kind to me when no one else was." She felt her knees go weak. Because now, she remembered, the truth between us. The next days felt like a dream. They walked the cliffs, laughed under stormy skies, shared old memories like precious stones. Gabriela's walls, built so carefully over the years, began to crack. Richard told her he was a diver now, freelance, always chasing coastlines, never staying too long. "I don't belong anywhere," he said one night. Gabriela looked at him, eyes full of longing. "What if you belong here, with me?" He kissed her, and the world quieted. The letter. The night before the wedding, Gabriela found an envelope under her door. No name, just her room number. Inside, a newspaper clipping. About a man lost at sea 2 years ago, presumed dead. His name? Richard Hale. Same face, same name, same man. Her breath caught, her hands shook. He had lied. Or someone had. The storm. She confronted him near the cliffs, where the wind howled like a warning. "You're not who you say you are," she cried. "Why lie to me?" Richard's face was calm, but broken. "My brother. He was the one lost at sea, not me, but I used his name to disappear." "Why?" "Because I didn't want to be found," he said, "until I saw your name on the wedding roster, and suddenly, I did." She wanted to scream, to run, to hold him. She did none of those. She walked away. The wedding. The ceremony went on. The bride cried. The groom vowed. Gabriela stood at the edge of it all, smiling for strangers and dying inside. She checked out the next morning, but room 209 wasn't empty. There was one final note on the pillow. "If you ever want to stop running, I'll be waiting room 209. Richard?" She stood there for a long time, then left the note and the key. Epilogue. Years passed. Gabriela became a renowned event planner. She never forgot room 209, or the man who remembered her before she remembered herself. Some say they saw him once in Greece, photographing shipwrecks. Others say he opened a diving school in Costa Rica. No one really knows. But sometimes, late at night, Gabriela dreams of cliffs and letters and a kiss she should have never let go. And she smiles. Because some loves aren't meant to last forever. They're meant to remind us how to feel again. To be continued.